start the recording there. So, as I said, we're going to start with the Breton Carol today. So if you get yourselves into B flat, don't worry about the extra F sharp right now, because we'll just do a quick warm up first. Just get the fingers all moving, and then we'll sort of introduce this carol. So yeah, if you get yourselves into that B flat, and we'll just do some scales and some arpeggios and things like that to start off. Let me spotlight my video for you. It should hopefully make it. You are able in your, I'm sure you're all Zoom experts, but in case not, up in the right top corner, there's a little button that says view, and you want to be in speaker view. That will make my video big on your screen rather than in gallery view. So just go with that if you can. Okay, so let's start off. We're going to do a scale of B flat major. It's going from this B up to that B. Deborah, the Breton Carol, the title of it is the one that looks like, it's like PH Truz Zoo RN Door. So it's not called Breton Carol. It's called that. And it's a P. Look for the one that starts with P. Okay. So a 2-octave scale, right hand up and down. So 1 and 2 and. Good, let's do that one more time. 1 and 2 and. Good, let's do a 2-octave scale with the left hand. So 1 and 2 and. Good, and then hands together. 1 and 2 and. Yeah, lovely, good. And then let's do an arpeggio with our right hand. So we're going to go up that B shape. I go 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, and then back down. Okay, so the notes are B, D, F, B, D, F, B. Okay, so 1, 2, and. Good, let's practice that shape again. 1, 2, and. Good, same with our left hand. 1, 2, and. Same again. And. Good. And then if you can manage it, try a hands together one. And if you can't, then just stick to one of those hands. So 1, 2, and. Yeah, good. Excellent. Okay, so the other thing in this first piece, we've got an awful lot of rolled chords. So let's do a little warm up that just involves some rolled chords. I'm just going to turn down my input level a little bit, and hopefully that might stop it buzzing. So in each hand, let's set on a B triad. So a B triad in the right hand and a B triad in the left hand. And let's go, so just roll right up that shape. Ready? And okay. So in slow motion with your rolls, you're going, and in practice, it's going to come out like that. Okay. So let's just do that. Just practice your B1 a few times to get it really nice and rich sounding. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go up a scale like that. So we're going to do B triad in both hands, then C triad in both hands, good, D triad in both hands, E, F, G, A, and then your B. That's it. So we're going to do that same thing again. So starting down on that B, going up as far as this B, and think about getting as round and full and rich a chord as you can in there, making sure that all the notes are even within it. You don't want it to sort of be, it's got a sort of bump in the bit. You want it all to sound like it's one continuous shape, even though it's split between those hands. Okay, so ready, and so B and C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Yeah, lovely. Good. Let's do it one more time. Let's do it really fortissimo. So 3, 4. That's it. Yeah, good. Okay, so hopefully that is your hands nice and warm. So this first tune that we're gonna work on today, I'm gonna just apologise straight up. I have no idea how you properly pronounce this Breton title. I need to go and ask Kevin or Tristan or one of the Breton harp players how on earth you actually pronounce it, and I'm sure I would still massacre it. So I will not give you my massacring of it, but it's a old carol that comes from Brittany, and the words of it are very beautiful. The words of it translate as the actual title translates as "What noise is that? What's that noise?" Basically, which doesn't sound very Christmassy, but when you know the context of it, so the lyrics translate: "What noise on earth? Who is singing for me, and who am I hearing? How much I love these voices who sing in the skies, and what do they say in their song? What is new that happened on earth? We hear the people sing on earth. We've come to tell you that in the sky there is something beyond compare, a small child, blessed King of Jerusalem, who was born for them in the town of Bethlehem." That's kind of rough translation. So I'll send you, when I email you after the course, I'll send you the Breton lyrics and the English ones, just so you can kind of hear it be sung. And I did share this on YouTube, on Facebook before, but for those who didn't see it, this is where I learned the tune from. This lovely recording here. Oh, sorry, wait a minute, I didn't share sound. 1 second. So we'll just have a wee listen through it, and you can start to get the tune in your head. So it's going to go like this. that's gives you a little overview of what we're going to be learning today. So wait a minute, I think my sound is maybe still a tiny bit loud. So let me now play you the harp version that I have done this arrangement of. So it's going to go like this. Okay, so that's it. Apologies, as I said, I replaced this high G this morning. It was horrible there. But yeah, so really pretty tune. It's that sort of. I also feel like in Christmas tunes, there's like the really happy ones, and then there's the really melancholic ones, and this one definitely falls in that latter category. Kind of is similar in feel to like Veni Emmanuel, or the Coventry Carol, and those kind of more real minor ones. So yeah, I just really love it. So you're in B flat. Hopefully you're already there because we did our scale in that key, and you just want to add on your F sharp below middle C. Okay, so you're going to put that one on. And just so that I've explained the notation to you, you'll see in bar, if you look ahead to bar 15, the end of bar 15, you'll see a little diamond note at the end of it. So the little diamond notes show lever changes, okay? So when you get that diamond at the end of bar 15, you're going to put off that F lever. And you also see a little diamond at the end of bar 19, the last bar on that page, and that's you're putting on this F lever instead. Okay, so that's what those little diamonds mean. They're not notes. You don't play them as notes. You are doing that. Now, for Colleen and anyone else who's on a smaller harp than 34 strings, what you can, there's kind of two options you can do. Option one is that you can just adapt the chords and kind of miss out the notes that you don't have. So like say in that, you're probably okay with that first one, but if you don't have that low E, for instance, just play one of the E's and then just one F. Oh, that. So you can kind of play the notes that you have, but I think a simpler solution is that for this first half, you can just play the entire thing up an octave and you'll get exactly the same effect, and then you don't need to amend anything other than shifting it up an octave. Okay, so that's probably your easiest option if you have a smaller range on your harp. So let's look at our right hand. We're starting with thumb on D, just next to middle C, and we're going to play that thumb, and then we're going to play the thumb again with a B below it. Okay, so, and then I jump up to G and F, and I'm going to go G, G, F, and then a chord of B, E, and G. Okay, so that first little phrase is going. Okay, let's try that. 1 and 2. Then G, G, F, and chord. Good, same again. 2, 3. Good. And then just add on a B with your thumb, okay? Just to finish off that phrase. So now we have chord and B. Okay, so let's just play that. 1, 2, 3. Good. And again, if you want to make things easier, when you have the chords, just miss out the lower notes. So you could just play it as. Okay, that's absolutely fine if you want to just miss out the notes of the chord for now. Just if that's the case, just play your top note, okay? So one more time. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Then set on a chord of middle C, F, and A. So C, F, A. And we're going to play that as a rolled chord. And then we're going to go set on G and F, and we go G, F, G, D. Okay, so it's the chord, then G, F, G, and D. Okay, let's try that. 2, 3, 4. And again, 3, 4. Yeah, good. So if we do that whole first line, I'll play it for you. It's going to go. Okay, let's try that. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, same thing. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Now, if you look at the next line, you'll see it's almost identical. So we start off the same way. Then bar 7 is almost the same as bar 3. It's just that the rhythm is different. So instead of them being all even, we're going to put in a dotted rhythm. So it's going to go la ba da dum. Okay, so let's just play that bar with that rhythm. Da 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 da. Ready? And good. And then jump down. For the fingering, we're going to play a B and a D. So you could do that with 1 and 2, or you could have done it with 2 and 3, depending on which you find easier. Just up to you. Okay, so let's try all of that second line. So 1, 2, 3. Now the dotted rhythm. Da, ba, da, da. Good. Excellent. Okay, so let's try lines 1 and 2 together. So 1, 2, 3. good. Okay, then next line. We're going to again start with a chord this time. If you put your third finger on B below middle C, second on D above that, and your thumb up onto G. So that's our first chord. We're going to go. And then F, D. Okay, so it's chord and F, D. Let's find those shapes again. Ready, and. Good. And then our next chord is going to be G, B, and E. Okay. Okay, so it's the G and the B are below middle C, and your thumb is above middle C, so it's there. And then we're going to go F, D, E. Okay, so it's chord, F, D, E. Let's try that. Okay, so the chord is G, B, E. Ready? And chord, F, D, E. That's it. Good, so if we do those two bars, 9 and 10, it'll sound like this. So we've got the first chord, then F, D, second chord, F. Okay, so let's try that much. 2, 3, 4. Then F, D, second chord, F, D, E. Okay, let's try that again. So start on B, D, G, 3, 4. F, D, then chord, F, D, E. And then we're going to walk down a scale. So we've just played E with our thumb, and we're going to walk down a scale. So D, C, B, and then back to C. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 2, and then a chord of A and E. Okay, so let's try that. So this is bar 11. Ready, and D, C, B, C, A, and D. And again, 3, 4. That's it. Good, so if we try that whole line from bar 9, it's going to sound like this. Okay, so let's try that much. 2, 3, 4. Walk down the scale to A, D. Good, same again. 3, 4. Excellent. Okay, so let's play everything from the start to there. So 1, 2, 3. That's it. Good. And then our last line of the melody is almost the same as the start. We start the same way. We start. Okay, so up to there, everything's the same as we had in lines 1 and 2. But then our last few notes, we're going to go up this time. So we've done the chord, and then we're going to go B, C, B, A, G. Okay, so B, C, and then walk down the scale. Okay, so let's try that last line. 2, 3, and yeah, good. Excellent. So let's try the last two lines. So from bar 9, okay? So lines 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, and. Yeah, great. Good. Okay, so let's try our entire melody from the start up to there. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's it. Good. So, are there any questions about that first part of the melody? Hopefully, that tune is starting to go into your heads and starting to feel a little bit familiar. And as I say, those ways to simplify it, if you need to, are just leave out the bottom notes of the chord, just play that top note, and that kind of is that leaves everything in, but just makes it a little bit easier if you want to do that. Okay, so let's have a wee look at what our left hand is doing whilst we do that. And as I say, just remember, if you do have questions and you want me to go over anything again, put it in the chat for me. So most of our chords in the left hand for this are going to be the same sort of shape. And by shape, I mean that they're normally like a 1, 5, 8 type shape, okay? So we're starting on G, D, and G. Okay, so G in the bottom, D in the middle, G at the top. And that we're just going to play that as a nice rolled chord. Same shape, so a 1, 5, 8 chord, but down on E, B, E. So good. Now this next one isn't the same, and the reason for that is because you've got your F lever at the top. So if you play a 1, 5, 8, it'll sound horrible. So we're doing a 1, 5, 10 here. So it's F, C, A. Okay, and we're going to go. That's it. And then down to D, A, D. And then we play our F, that's the one that has the lever on, just as a single note with our second finger. Okay, so let's do that whole line. So starting on G chord. So it's G chord, E chord, F chord, D chord. Ready? And dum, bum, da, da, da. What's your top note here? Da, 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 down to D, D, then the F sharp. Good, let's do the same again. 2, 3, and G, and then to E, to F, then down to D. That's it. Then, good news is, the next page is exactly the same except for the last note. The last note, instead of being an F sharp, is an A. Okay, so we go and and G, and then it's E and F, and then it's D and A. Yeah, perfect, good. Okay, so those first two lines aren't too bad. Then we start the same way again. So we start off G chord, E chord, but now we're going to go down to a C chord, and then back to our D with the F sharp. Okay, so line 3 is pretty much the same as line 1, except for the third chord. Instead of playing an F chord, we're playing a C chord. Okay, so let's try that line. So 2, 3, and then it's E, then to C, and up to D. That's it. And then we go back. Our last line is the same as our first line, except we don't have the end chord. Okay, so it's our G chord, E chord, F chord. So down, then to E and F, da 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 da, and then we'll go to something different. Okay, so good news there, most of it is very, very repetitive. So once you've kind of got line 1, you've got most of it, just there's the odd variation. So let's try all of that left hand. So 1, 2, 3. Dum, da, 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 dum, da, ba, ba, dum, ba, dum, da, ba, da, da, dum. A, good. G, then to E, then to C this time. Ba, 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 D, and then to the G. Ba, da, down to A. Big F chord. Dum, ba, da, da, da. And we will go to a G there. Yeah, good. Okay, so hopefully those are nice and clear. So now we'll start putting hands together. If you want to just stick to hands separately for now, that's absolutely fine. You can go back and work on it hands together with the recording at a later stage if you want. But for those who are doing it hands together, so we're starting off. The nice thing is that our chords always come on the first beat of the bar, okay? So our first one is going to be, then to our E chord. Okay, let's try that much. So 1, 2, 3. Good. Then we've got our F chord, and we've got that F inversion in the right hand, and we're going to go. And then your D chord comes with D in the right hand, and that F comes on its own. Okay, so let's go from the F chord, 2, 3, 4, down to the D chord. Good. Okay, so let's try that whole line. So let's take it nice and slow. So 1, 2, 3. Down to E chord. And F chord. Down to D chord. Good. Let's try next line because it's almost the same. So we start the same way. Then to the E chord. F chord. Remember the difference in the right hand rhythm here. So we're going to go. And here we've got the D chord. And in the right hand, we've got B and D. So it sounds a little bit funny until we get our A in. It's going to go. So you get that little da-dum resolution in the middle of the harmony. So let's try that whole line too. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, good. Okay, so let's do lines 1 and 2 together. So 1, 2, 3. That's it. Good. Okay. Line 3. We start off with that G chord in the left hand. I've got a G chord in the right hand as well. And we're going to go. Okay, so let's just do that much. So what's quite good here is your hands are kind of in the same shape for this chord and for that chord. It's the exact same shape, but 2 notes further down that second one. Okay, so we're starting off on that G shape. So then F, D, then same shape, 2 notes down. And then we've got our C chord, and that comes with the D in the right hand. And we're going to go. And then our D chord. And that F on its own. Okay, so let's do those 2 bars, bars 11 and 12. Ready, and... Good. Okay, so let's try that whole line from bar 9. 3, 4. Good. Same again. 3, 4. Good. And then our last line is our fourth line is pretty much the same as the first. So we're back to the G chord, then our E chord, then the F chord in both hands, but our right hand is different. That's it. Good. Okay, so let's try that entire first half. Things to think about if you're just struggling with the notes right now, just concentrate on your notes. If you're finding the notes too bad, really think about on each of these chords pulling all the way into your fists, making them lovely and rich with lots of good projection. Okay, so you're hearing every note within those chords. Nothing feels like tight or grabby. It's all loose and relaxed and round and pulling in. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Excellent, good. So what I think we'll do is we'll just look at the next 4 bars, which is sort of our interlude, and then I'll give you a few minutes to practice what we've done so far, okay? So for our interlude, I'll play it, it's gonna go... Okay, so what's happening here is in our right hand, we've got the same shape over and over again. We're gonna put our thumb up on our high G, then second finger on D, third on C, and fourth on B. And we're just playing straight down that. We're just going 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so G, D, C, B. And we're going to play down that shape 4 times. The last time we stop on the C. Okay, so 2, 3, and it's, sorry, I should say it's going to go rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, and rest. And rest. And rest. Stop on C. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So let's do that. So 3, 4, rest. And rest. And rest. And rest. Stop on C. That's it. Yeah, good. So just miss out that B the last time. Good. So that's what our right hand is doing. Left hand. We're starting on G, D, G, and we're playing up it like that. So G, D, G, and then G, D back down. So up the shape, wait, G, D is our rhythm, okay? So 1 and 2, 3, 4, and, okay, let's do that again. Ready, and 1 and 2, 3, 4, and good. One more time. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and next bar. We start on. It's the same, but our first 3 notes are different. We're going to do E, B, E. Okay, so just move all your hand down 2 notes. So we're going to go E, B, E. And then we have the G, D again. Okay, so the last 2 notes are always the same. So E, B, E, wait, G, D. Okay, let's try that. 3 and 4 and 2, 3. That's it. Good, so let's do those 2. So we've got the G, D, G, and then the E, B, E. 3 and 4 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3. Good. Then we do the G, D, G one again. And then we do the E, B, E one, but we don't do the last 2 notes this time. So we just go E, B, E, wait. Okay, so let's try that whole line. So 3 and 4 and 2, 3. That's it. With that, you know, when you go from the G, D down to the E, you might be able to stretch that by sort of pivoting, but it's okay if you want to just lift and jump as well. So you can either set it or just do a jump. Either is absolutely fine, whichever you find easier. Okay, so fitting these 2 hands together, the easy way to remember is that our thumbs are always going to come together. So it's thumb. Okay, so it's actually just 1 note in the whole bar that's actually at the same time. So it's left, left, together. Okay, let's do that. 1 and 2 and. And then it's the same, but we've got the E, B, E at the bottom. So thumbs together. same as the first one. Thumbs together. And down to the E, B. Thumbs together. And stop on C. Okay, let's try that line. So 3 and 4 and. Good, let's do that one more time. 3 and 4 and. That's it. Good. Okay, so why don't I give you, it's 3:52 right now. I'm going to pause the recording and I'm going to give you 5 minutes just to practice what we've done so far. Try and get kind of as confident as you can with those bits. And also then if you've got any questions or anything you want me to go over, just pop that in the chat. Okay, so I'll pause the chat and I'll mute myself for a bit. Okay, so let's try that all together from the top of the page. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's it. Good. And you'll see that in the slightly easier version that I gave you, that last line, it's just got a few less notes. It's just going to go. Okay, so instead of doing at the end, you're just doing a single G, and that gives you a little bit more time to jump down to the lower notes. So that's sort of the difference there. So if you are struggling with that, that might be a good solution. Good, let's play that one more time and then we'll move on to page 2. So 1, 2, 3. last note that goes into our next part. Good. Okay. So does anyone have any questions about any of that or anything you would like me to go over again? Or is that all just a matter of practice now? Okay, perfect. The transition from 15 to 16 is difficult. Yeah, just getting ready for that. It's just that you know, it's one of these things. It's anticipation as much as anything, knowing what's around the corner. So give yourself lots of time. In the left hand, you've got 4 counts to get all the way up to there, but it's got to be ready. Okay, so as soon as you've played that chord, get your left hand ready as much as you can. You will do a lever change, but don't worry about that for now. So, okay, it's getting yourself ready, and it's. I think because at that point it suddenly gets a little bit faster as well. You just have is being ready and anticipating it. Getting your hands back into that new position. So just the way to practice that is just in each hand. Practice going from rest. So make sure that your right hand can get there on time. Make sure your left hand can get there on time, and they know what they're doing. And then hopefully that'll start to ease the transition. But yeah, it's a lot too, just because it's suddenly the pace sort of picks up there because you suddenly have more notes per bar. So that's that bit. Good. So for now, we're not going to worry about the lever change. For now, all I want you to put off the lever that you had below middle C, the F lever, and put on the F lever above middle C. Okay. So the good news I'm going to give you on page 2 is that your right hand is absolutely identical to what you had on page 1. It's all just an octave higher now. Okay, so we're starting here and we're going to go. And so on. Okay, so everything that you've done before, you're going to do again, just that octave higher. Okay, so let's try that right hand. So from bar 20 going up to bar 34. So 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. That's different actually. Before you just had an A and E, now you've got an F, A, and D. Okay, so you just got one extra note at the bottom, but other than that you're same. And then carry on, bar 32. Okay, so hopefully that's all feeling nice and familiar to you. It's just that octave shift that's different. Good. Okay, let's do that one more time just to make sure that hand feels solid. So 1, 2, 3. Two, Yeah, good. Okay, so right hand, identical, just an octave higher. Left hand. Now, I'm going to say, I would not normally say this, but I am going to say there's a lot of ledger lines here and it's Christmas. So if you want to get out your marker pen and just write in what the cards are, I'm not going to judge you because let's make life easier than it needs to be. But actually, once you start thinking about what the cards are rather than trying to read every note, it's not so bad. So let's just go through it slowly, bar by bar. So this first bar is G, D, G. Just the same as we had at the start, we're an octave higher though. So G below middle C, D above middle C, and G above that. So it's that G, D, G. And then this next one, don't worry about reading all the ledger lines, it's just a G triad shape. Okay? That's it. So yeah. Okay? So it's, and these are each going to get 2 counts, so it's going to be 1 and okay. So let's do that. So first chord, then G triad shape. Good. Then this next chord, this is a big E chord. So we're playing E, B, E, G, B, E. The rhythm, my teacher used to always say this is a stick it up your jumper rhythm. Stick it up your jumper. Okay, that's what we're doing. E, B, E, G, B, E. And if you want the easier version, just play the first 3 notes. Okay. Good. Okay, so let's do those 2 bars. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Chord, then triad, and E chord. Good. Then we're setting on F, C, and A. And we're going to go. Okay, F, C, A. And then we're going to jump down to D, A, D. And we're going to go D, A, D. And then in our right hand, we've got these little extra notes. We're going to go G, F. So it's going to go D, A, D, G, F. Okay, let's just find that shape. So D, A, D in the left hand and G, F in the right hand. And if you look down, you can see that the last bar of each of those 3 lines finishes that same way. It's always that. Okay, so it's worth making sure that you're solid with that shape. Okay, so let's try that whole line. So G, D, G, da, G triad, E chord, F, C, F, F, C, A, sorry, and then D, A, D, G, F. That's it. Good, let's do all that again. 2, 3, and da, ba, da, ba, da, da, dum, ba, ba. Yeah, one more time. 2, 3. Da, ba, da, da, bum, da, ba, dum, ba, dum. Good. Now, good news. Look at line 2. What do you notice? It's exactly the same. So let's play that. So from bar 24, da, dum, ba, dum, da, da, bum, da, ba, da, da, dum. Okay, so the good thing about all of this is it's very economical. It might take you a little while to get it, but once you've got the shapes, we use them quite a lot. Okay, so let's try those 2 lines together from bar 20. So 1, 2, 3. Da, dum, ba, da, E chord, dum, ba, Good, okay. Next line. This next line, all of those 3 chords are the same shape, okay? We're always doing it 5 notes, and it's always a 1, 5, 8, 10, 12 shape, okay? And for fingering, I'm always going 4, 2, 1, 2, 1, okay? So this first one is G, D, G, B, D. So, okay, again. Next one is the same shape, but 2 notes lower down, so it's on an E. So it's going to be E, B, E, G, B. So, and then the next one is again the same shape, but 2 notes down again. So it's on a C chord. So C, G, C, E, G. Okay, so let's do that line. So it's a G chord, an E chord, a C chord. Okay, so ready? And to the E, down to the C, and then our last bar is the same as our last bar of the other ones. It's the D, A, D, 1. Okay, so let's try that whole line again. So from the G chord, down to E, C, and then it's D. That's it. Good. So let's try all of this page from the top to there. So from bar 20. 1, 2, 3. Da, 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 F chord. Da, ga, dum, da, dum. Da chord and triad to the big E. F and D, and these G chord, da, dum, E chord, da, dum, and to C chord, da, da, D chord, da. Good. And then the good news is that the last line is almost exactly the same as our first line there. We just don't have the triad, so it's dum, ba, da, then the big E chord, and then the F, C, A, dum, ba, da, da. Okay, so almost an exact repeat of line 1 in that third one. So lines 1, 2, and 4 are pretty much identical. Line 3 is the one that's different, but within line 3, all the shapes are the same. Okay, so let's try all of that left hand. So 1, 2, 3. Da, 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 dum, dum, da, ga, da, da, dum, da, G, da, dum, then E, da, da, dum, then to C, da, 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 dum, da, 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 dum, dum, da, ba, 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 bum. Yeah, good. So I'll play the right hand, you play the left hand. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's it. So let's try that slowly, hands together. We'll just do it little bit by little bit. So bars 20 and 21, we've got together, then the triad with this G here. And here the chord starts with the left hand, so it's... And the easy way to remember this is that the B's come together. Okay, if you're wondering which notes, it's the B's together. So together. Okay, so let's try those 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, and chord, then triad, then together, and B. Good, same again. 2, 3, and good. Then we've got F, C, A in the left hand. And these are all going to come on the beat. So it's going to be together, 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 and then right on its own. So let's try that bar. And together, 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 and then this D in the right hand comes with our D chord in the left hand. And we're going to go. Okay, it's ready. And okay, let's do those last 2 bars of the line. So bars 22 and 23 from the F chord. Ready, and then the D. Good. Okay, so let's try that whole line. 1, 2, 3, and chord, then triad, then E chord, and B's together, F chord, and D's together. Good. And remember, the next line is almost exactly the same, except for the rhythm. So let's do that. So 2, 3, and B's together again. Now, because the rhythm here is different, it's going to go together, left, right, together. Okay, so I'll do that again. So and then okay, so let's go from that F chord. 3 and that's it. Good. So let's try those 2 lines together from bar 20. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Yeah, lovely, good. Okay, next line. This is when we've got all these big chords in a row. So we're starting off on the G chord, and we've got then E in both hands, and then the C, and the D. Okay, so let's try that line nice and slow. 3 and 4 and Good. Let's do that line again. 3. So bar 28. Ready and good. And then our last line, almost the same as the first line again. In fact, an easier version because we don't have the triads. Ready? And here our different right hand. That's it. Yeah, good. So there's lots in the second half. There's lots and lots to practice. What I would recommend is making sure that your right hand is very, very solid. Then make sure your left hand on its own knows exactly what it's doing, and then start putting it together. Okay, so give yourself lots of time with this one. Obviously, right now we're just making sure that you know how it all fits together when you come to practice it. So let's try from bar 20 all the way through that part. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, good. And then this outro is exactly the same as we had. Remember between the two parts? We had that. It's exactly the same. You're just up on your highest G that you have. If you don't have one, or if it's not in tune, just play it an octave lower. But so again, our right hand's on those same notes. G, D, C, B. And our left hand is doing the G. Okay, so up to there's all the same. So we've got okay, and to get to the very end, find it on your top string that G, D, C, B with your right hand. And then you're going to find the same shape with your left hand. And we're basically going to do this 3 times down the harp. So we're doing right, left, and then right. Okay, so right, left, right, all in the same shape. G, C, it's G, D, C, B. Ready? So right, left, right, and then our left is going to go G, D, G to finish off. Okay, G, D, G. So from the top, let's find it in each hand. Ready? So right, left, right, G, D, G, and with a nice big ral in there. So that whole ending will sound like this. It'll go. let's try that whole second page. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. So lots and lots in there to practice, but hopefully you'll, as you start practicing it on your own, you'll discover that so much of this is repeated patterns, and that first, second and fourth line is always the same, and that as your right hand becomes confident in the first half, it'll also therefore be more confident in the second half, being that octave higher. Okay, so it will all hopefully start to gel, and we've given you all the pieces. So the only last thing that we need to cover is just how we do the lever change. So if I go back to the first page, from that bar 13, so the fourth line down, I'm going. And as soon as I've played this chord on my left hand, I put off this F lever here, okay? So I'm going to angle that a wee bit higher. So I've gone. Then I put that lever off. And then I go into this final line. And in this final bar, the one that finishes on the C, I put the F lever above middle C on. Okay, and you've got plenty of time for that, because you've got 2, 3, 4 to get that on. Okay, so plenty of time. And also, I mean, the good thing with this piece is, like, this is a slow piece, and if you take lots of rubato in it, that's absolutely fine. So just if you need a little bit, those lever changes are always coming at the end of a phrase. So if you need to do a little slowdown here, that's fine. And then you can pick up your tempo again. You can do exactly the same here. Again. So it's absolutely fine. As long as you make these things sound like they're intentional and not because you're panicking on the inside, you can get away with taking as much time as you need for those bits. Okay, so just the key thing is stay calm during lever changes and don't rush them. Just take your time to get there. So I'm aware that I would love to kind of go through this many more times with you, but also I'm aware of time, and I would like to give you a break to go and get a cup of tea and refresh your brains a little bit before we look at the second tune. So let's play all the way through the piece. If you want to try the whole thing with both hands, with one hand, just sit back and have a listen, all fine. Sing along. If you're listening, just try and sing along so that you get that melody in your head. And I'll also make an audio, I'll play it at tempo so that I can make an audio recording of it at the same time, and then we can put that in the Dropbox for you. Okay. So just make sure that F below middle C is on to start, and the one above middle C is off. Okay. Let's see my hands. Okay. So 1, 2. Okay, so I'll send you that recording as well. But yeah, see how you get on with that one kind of when you're practicing it. As I say, if as you're discovering it in 3 weeks' time, you're like, oh, I really wish I'd asked her how she got from bar 24 to 25, whatever, just email me and just ask. That's absolutely fine. But hopefully with the recording, and with having gone over it lots, you'll be able to now go away and know exactly what you need to work on with it and get that tune into your head. And as I say, there's the slightly simpler left hand version as well. The way I've done the slightly simpler version is that it's exactly the same as the other version, just with less notes. In the sense that, like, if you then want to build up into the harder version, say next year, nothing changes in what you're playing, you're just adding in more notes. Okay, so the kind of all the rhythms and stuff are exactly the same. So let's take a cup of tea there. It's just about 4:35. Let's break until 1:45, so kind of 10 minutes or so. I absolutely understand if your brain is full and if you're like, okay, that's enough for me today, I'm going to watch the rest on the replay. I will not be offended if you disappear. But I will see some of you back in about 10 minutes time. Okay, so have a good break. That's okay, we'll play it all again at the end. So, Carew, Carew, we're in B flat. The way that the structure of this piece works is that the first two lines are kind of introduction material. Then we go into the main song. And then from bar 39, we're back to that introduction material again. So you've kind of got this introduction material acts as kind of a sandwich. You get it at the start, you get it in the middle, and then you get it at the end as well. Okay, so that's sort of our pieces of bread, as it were. And then our filling is the first part. We've got the Karoo Karoo actual melody, and in the second chunk we've got the South Wind melody going on. Okay, so it's a little bit of a jigsaw puzzle putting it together, but hopefully that will all become clear what's going on as we go through it. Okay, so let's look at this introduction to start off with. So in our right hand, what we're doing is we're going FB, and then FB, and then FB. Okay, so set on your first one, so FB with 2 and 1. This is just above middle C, so. And then you're going to play FB again, an octave higher. So FB, FB. And then with your second finger, play the F, that higher F again, and go back down to the lower F. Okay, so it comes. Okay, and the rhythm is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's try that. Ready, and. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we do exactly the same thing, but this time we're going to go. Our last note is E instead of going down to B. Okay, so let's try that. So F, B, F, B, F, E. Ready, and. That's it. Good, so one time going back to B, one time going back to E, and then we repeat all of that. So let's do that right hand. 1, 2, and. 2, B, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To E this time. 2, 3, 4, and then we repeat all of that. And. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To E. Yeah, good. Okay, so that's all that our right hand is doing in that little introduction. So at the same time, let's look at our left hand. We're starting on a big B chord, and these chords are all going to be the same shape. It's always going to be a 1, 5, 8, and then crossing under our fourth finger and setting on that sort of shape. So it's B, F, B, and then crossing under to C, D, F, B. Okay, so in the middle there, you're getting a little scale. So 1, 2, 3, all in a row. And then F, B. Okay, let's play that. And. Let's do it again, because this shape is going to come up a lot in our piece. So ready? And. Good. Now we're going to use that as a kind of, think of that as like a cookie cutter, and we're going to do exactly the same shape, but this time down on an E chord. So it's going to be E, B, E, and then F, G, B, E. So again, we end up with that little scale in the middle. Okay, so let's do the B chord and then the E chord. Ready, and. Then down to E. Good, then we're going to get exactly the same shape on a G chord this time. So it's going to be G, D, G, A, B, D, G. Okay. And then we go back to our E shape again. Okay, so the pattern of the chords is B, E, G, E. Okay, so let's try all 4 of those. So 1, 2, and B. Then to E. Then to G. want to make that any easier at all, then just do the first 3 notes of it and don't worry about the cross under. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so let's do it one more time. So ready and B, then E, then to the G, back down to E, back to B, down to E, to the G, back to the E. Yeah, good. Excellent. So if we're putting that hands together, it's going to go. Okay, let's try that first line. So you're getting 2 left-hand notes to every right-hand note in that first bit. So it's together, left, together. And you end up with those 2 thumbs at the top together. And then right hand note on its own, and then just that one. Okay, so let's do that. 1, 2, and. Good, let's do that again. Ready, and. Next line is the same sort of rhythm together, but we're on the G chord and then the E. So ready? 1, 2, and. And then the E's together. Okay, so let's try that line again. 2, and. Good, so let's try that whole introduction. 1, 2, and. And then we repeat all of that. So. Perfect. So that might take a bit of practice in terms of the coordination, but in terms of what the notes are doing, hopefully the actual pattern is quite simple. Okay, so that's our introduction, and that you get that there. You get exactly the same thing again at bar 39, and you get exactly the same thing again on the very last page. That's our sort of outro. So that's kind of worth spending a bit of time on getting nice and solid. So then let's go on and let's learn our actual melody for the tune. So we start on, the melody really begins, it's the last note of line 2, that D. So if you set on D and F, and we're going to go D, F, 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 G. Okay, so dum, ba, 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 ba. Okay, put it together. 1, 2. D, F, 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 G. Good. And then we set on a 4-note scale down from E. So E, D, C, B. And that's going to go E, D, C, B. So just straight down that scale. So ready? 1, 2. E, D, C, B. Good. So if we go from the start, so the start of the tune, so they pick up into bar 10. So 1, 2. Then scale down to B. One more time. 1, 2. Good. Then set on B and E. And we're going to play B, E. So up the way. And then set on our same 4-note scale going down again. So B, D, C, sorry, E, D, C, B, long day. And we're going to go straight down that. And then back to C. Okay, so that little bit that goes B, E, E, D, C, B, C. Okay, let's do that again. 1, 2. Ba-dum, da-da, ba-da-dum. Good. So let's go from the pickup into bar 10 to there. So 1 and 2 and. Yeah, lovely. Good. Same again. 1 and 2 and. Good. The next phrase starts off exactly the same way. So we go. But here, we are going to play all the notes of the scale. We're just changing it up a little bit. We're going to go E, D, E, C, B. So you're going. Okay, E, D, E, C, B. Let's try that. 1, 2. E, D, E. Good. So if we go from the last note of bar 17, go 1, 2. That's it. Good. And then over the page, set your second finger on F and your thumb up onto your high B. And we're going to go F, B, B, B. Okay, so F and then 3 Bs. 1, 2. Good. And then set on a 3-note scale of G, A, B. And we're going to play up the scale and then back down as far as your 4th finger. So we're going to go 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so up a scale and back down a scale. So from G, A, B. 1, 2. And same again. 1, 2. Okay, so let's go from bar 22, the top of page 2, from those 3 Bs in a row. So 1, 2, and B, 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 G, A, B, A, G, F. Okay, same again. 1, 2, and. Good. Okay, so let's go from the start of our tune to there. So from pick up to bar 10. So 1 and 2 and. That's it. Yeah, good. You might find if this melody isn't familiar to you, it's quite an unusual melody. And if it's not familiar to you, it might help you to listen to the tune quite a few times, sort of on your own before you're learning it. I'll send you obviously the recording of it, and I'll also send you the link to that YouTube of somebody singing it. Because I think when you know how the words fit, it definitely helps you kind of understand the melody. Okay, so we've done that. We've just. Okay, so then the pick up to bar 27 is B going up to E, and then we're going to go B, E, and then we're going to walk down a 4-note scale from E, 1, And then we're going to go back up that same scale up to F. So we're going to go, we've got to come down the scale, and then we're going to go back up to F, and I just cross my second finger under to get that. So that phrase from the pickup into bar 7 is going to go. And for the lyrics there, you've got on Christmas Day in the morning. I think that kind of helps to know how that fits. Okay, so let's go from bar 10 up to there. So 1 and a 2. Down the scale, back to the C. Good, then we start the same way. Up to the B. Two, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Good, let's do all of that one more time again. So 1 and a 2 and. And a 2 and. To and on Christmas Day in the morning. That's it. Good. Okay, so now we're into our little chorus, our Carew Carew chorus. So we're starting on F and B, and we're going to go. Okay, so we've got 5 of those high Bs in total. So it's F, B, 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 and then straight down the scale, B, A, G, F. Okay, let's try that. 1 and 2. Good, same again. 1 and 2. Excellent. And then to finish off, our melody is set on B and E. And we're going to go B, E, E, D. And then straight down a scale from D, D, C, B, A, B. Okay, so it's Carew, 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 Carew. Let's try that. So starting on B and E. 1, 2. B, E, E, D, D, C, B, A, B. That's it. So let's go from the start of our kind of the Carew chorus. So that's the pickup into bar 32. Up to that, those 5 high Bs in a row. 1 and 2. Yeah, lovely. Good. One more time. 1 and 2. Carew, 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 Carew. Yeah, that's it. So that's our entire tune of the main part of the carol. So let's do everything from bar 10 to there. So 1 and 2. And 2. Two, 3, 4, 5. One and 2 and okay, so hopefully again that melody will start to go in your head. Let's play it through one more time. I'm going to play the left hand because I think sometimes when you have the harmony, it also helps things to sink in. So same place, 1 and 2. Okay, so that's how that first bit is going to go. No problem, Helen. See you soon. So that's our first bit. So let's look at the left hand and what we're doing. Here again, most of it's kind of quite simple little triad shapes, and then we've got some of these cross under chords like we had in that introduction. So we're starting off on a B triad. This is the B just next to middle C. So we're going to go B, D, F. And then keep your third finger on the B, but move up the other two fingers. Now you've got B, E, G. And then F, C, F. And back to B triad. Okay, so let's try those 4 in a row. So B triad, B, E, G, F, C, F, B triad. Ready? 1, 2, and good. Same again. 1, 2, and good. Next shape is G, B, E. So G at the bottom, B, E. So and then G triad. Okay, so those two are the same except for the top note. Then the top note moves down. And then this next big one, again, you don't need to worry about leisure lines because it's just this. Remember this shape we had at the start in our introduction, the big one that crosses under with fourth finger? It's that one, so on an F chord. Okay, that 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, 12 octave. Okay, so this is a shape you really want to get familiar with if you're not already. So let's try that line. So line from bar 14. So G, then triad, then that big F chord. Good. Okay, so let's try those 2 lines from bar 10. 1, 2, and lovely. Okay, same again. 1, 2, and good. The next line is exactly identical to line 3. So we're back to our B triad, B, E, G, F, C, F, and B triad. Okay, so we've had all of those before. And then over the page again, these ones look really scary because of the big high notes, but again, they're all the same shape. It's a big E chord, so it's the one that goes. Okay, so that top note is an E there. E, B, E, F, G, B, E. Okay, so as long as you know it's an E chord, you don't need to worry about it. And then we've got C, G, C. And then this is our big F chord again. Okay, so that whole line, for all the notes in it, is just an E chord, a C chord, and an F chord. Okay, so let's try that. So from the E, C chord, and F chord. Good. Okay, so let's go from bar 10 to there with left hand. 1 and 2. Da, 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 G triad, our big F. Like the first line again. Big E, C, G, C, and then F. Okay, and again, just get your pen out and just write in that's an E, a C, and an F. It's a lot easier than trying to figure out all those notes in there. Once you know it's just a cookie cutter shape that's moving around your harp, life gets a lot easier. Okay, so then getting into bar 27, we've got E triad. Then this is D, F, B. So keep your thumb on the same note, but move the other two down. C triad. And then again, your F shape. So this F shape is all over the place in this. Okay, so let's try that whole line. So from the E triad, C triad, F chord. That's it. Good. Let's try everything from bar 10 to there. So 1 and 2. F, back to B triad, G triad, big F chord, that's it. Good. Okay, next bit, we start off on a big E chord. So again, we've just finished on the F chord, it's exactly the same, one note lower. So start on that big E, so da, da, da. And then this is E triad, and then D, F, B. Okay, so that's E triad, and then keep your thumb on that B and just move the bottom two notes down. Okay, so let's try it from that big E chord in bar 32. And da, ba, da, then E triad, then D, F, B. Good. And then we've got G, B, E, F, B, D, F, triad, and then B, okay? So let's do that last line. Da, dum, da, dum, da, 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 dum. Good. So let's try from bar 32 to there. Okay, this is line 3 of page 2. 1 and 2. Da, 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 da. E triad. Da, ba, da, dum. Da, dum, ba, dum. F triad. And then B. Yeah, good. Okay, so let's try all that left hand from bar 10. So 1 and 2. Da, dum, ba, da, dum. Da, dum, ba, dum. Da, dum, ba, da, da, dum. Dum, ba, ba, da, da. Big E chord, da, ga, dum. C chord, and the big F. Good. Then E and da, ba, da, dum. Good. To the big E. Dum, ba, dum. Da, ba, dum. Da, dum, ba, dum. Da, dum. Yeah, that's it. Great. Good. Okay, so just to try and get this all consolidated, let's go from bar 10, and this time you play the right hand, I'm going to play the left hand, okay? So 1 and 2. Good. And now swap over and play the other hand this time. 1 and 2 and... that's our whole melody for the carol. So let's do it kind of phrase by phrase, hands together. If you want to keep it to just one hand just now, that's absolutely fine. Just choose which hand you think needs a bit. Actually, if you're not sure of your right hand, definitely kind of practice right hand for now. So this first phrase is going to go, the triad comes with the F, the next shape with the G, and then with the D, and with the B. So it's only ever one right hand note comes with one left hand note there, okay? There's nothing, no more than that together for each little left hand chunk. Okay, so let's try that. So 1, 2, then chunk. Okay, let's try that again. 1, 2. Good. Then next line is going to go, so E with the chord. Here it's together, left, together. And then the C comes with the big F chord. Okay, so I'll do that line again. So okay, let's try that. 1, 2. Okay, so let's try those two lines together from bar 10. 1, 2. That's it. Good. Then next line is almost the same as the first one. So we're going to go. Okay, so it's just that third bar that's different. So let's try that. 1, 2. Good. And then over the page, here we've got this big E chord. It's coming with these high Bs. And it's going to come with the first one. And then with this G here. And then the E. Okay, so I'll do it again. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Let's try that. 1, 2. Good. Then you've got the C chord, comes with this B at the top here. And then F chord with F. Okay, so that whole line becomes. Okay, let's try all that. So 1, 2. Lovely. Good. Let's go from bar 10 to there. So 1, 2. That's it. Good. Then next part, we've got the E triad and the D, F, B, C triad with C, and F with F. Okay, let's try that line. 1, 2. That's it. And then we're into our chorus. So we've got the big E chord with these E's, or with these B's at the top, sorry. So it's going to be, and then E triad. Okay, let's try that line. 1, 2. Good. And then last line is, okay, so let's try that last line. So 1, 2, and that's it. So let's go from bar 32 to there. So 1, 2. That's it. Good. So let's try everything from bar 10 to there. So 1, 2. Yeah, good. So don't panic at all if you're like, oh my God, there are so many notes in there. This will all, again, the idea is that now you know how it should sound like and you know what the notes should be so that you can go away and practice it. I was just thinking there, I will put it on YouTube as well, rather than as a file, because when I put it on YouTube, in the settings, down at the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little, it looks like a little cog. And with that, you can change the speed of the video, which means that if I'm playing along, you can make me play slower if you want to, or you can make me play faster if you want to. So it's very handy. So I'll do it that way for you. But hopefully now at least you know that tune is starting to embed in your head, and we know what the left hand note should be. The biggest takeaway in left hand is trying to get this shape nice and fluid and running smoothly. So let's do everything from right the way from the very top up to there, okay? So from our introduction, probably feels like absolutely ages ago that you just learned it. 1, 2, and. good. So that interlude bit there, 39, is exactly the same as the introduction. The only difference is instead of the first notes being F, B, we just do a long B. So it's B, F, B, because that was our last note of the tune. So B, okay, and that sort of acts as our transition. So that is the entire tune. And if you wanted, what you could just do is play the introduction, then play from bar 10 up to bar 46. Then normally those repeat dots take you all the way back to bar 10. And then you would play right through to the end of bar 47 again. And you could just leave it there. That would be the whole piece. It gives you that nice ending. And then you could just, on the end of, just skip then to the very, very last line of the piece, which goes, you've gone, then skip to the last line. Okay, so that would be absolutely fine if that was what you wanted to do with the piece, and just skip out the entire south wind part. That gives you entirely the karoo part of the tune. Okay, so just to recap that, you're starting at bar 1. I'll put this all in writing for you because it's probably easier. You go all the way up to bar 47, you go back to bar 10, you play to bar 47, and then you play the very, very last line of the piece. Okay, and that gives you like the entire karoo piece. But then what I've done with the arrangement is I've just given you this little Irish waltz as well. And so that's optional. It starts at 47, and it's basically that page of the piece. So we've got 15 minutes left. So we'll look at this. We'll sort of go through what it's doing, and then you can ask any questions if you want. So starting from 47, our melody is going to go. Okay, so that's starting on D, C, B. So we play down that scale, D, C, B, and then up a 3-note scale from that D. Okay, so it's down a scale from D, up a scale from D. So 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2. And then we're going to go C, D, C, C, ready, and. Okay, so let's go down the scale, up the scale, C, D, C, C. 1, 2, and D, C, B, up the scale, C, D, C, C. Good. Then set on F and E, and we're basically playing a 5-note scale down here. We're going F, E, D, C, B. So fingering, I'm going 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, ready, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to play G with my 4th finger, and then F, G, B, B. So that little phrase will sound like this. G, F, G, B, B. Okay, let's try that phrase. 1, 2. Yeah, good. So let's try everything from 47 to there. 1, 2, and. That's it. And then we start off exactly the same way. We've got a little pickup of F, E, and then we repeat. So 1, 2. Good. Yeah, so that's it. So that same little phrase twice. Let's do that. I'll put in the left hand. 1, 2, and repeat. That's it. Yeah, good, excellent. What our left hand is doing in that same passage is we're basically doing a B chord, an F chord, G chord, E chord, B chord. So our pattern is always a 1, 5, 8, 10, 12, and I'm doing 4, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, so that's the first one is B, F, B, D, F. So 1, 2, and dum, ba, da, dum, ba, da. Then the same shape down on an F chord. So it's F, C, F, A, F, A, F, C, F, A, C. Ready? And dum, ba, da, dum. Good. So let's do this, the B and then the F. 1, 2, and B, down to F. Then you've got G, D, G, da, 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 ba, da, E, B, E, da, ba, da, and then our B chord again, da, da. Okay, so let's try that whole line from 51. So the G chord, da, ba, da, ba, down to E, back to B. That's it. Good. So let's try it all from 47 for all that left hand. 1, 2. Da ba da ba da dum ba da da ba da dum da 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 ga da da ba da da dum. Okay, that's our left hand. And if you want to try that hands together, let's take it nice and slow. So 1, 2, and repeat. Yeah, good. I was just thinking about this piece, and actually, with the arrangement that I've given, you could almost use this. It's almost like you've got a two-in-one piece, because you could use the introduction you could use the entire arrangement as is written, but you could also use the introduction with just the Kuru Kuru part. But you could also just put the introduction and then go straight into the South Wind part and just play that bit. So it's like you can do just Kuru Kuru, just the South Wind, or the whole thing as a whole. So it's almost like a 3-in-1. So you can use it for any time of year, which is hopefully useful. Okay, so that's our first part of the South Wind. Our second part, we've gone from the last, this is bar 55, we've got the pickup, so we're going to go D, F, and then up to that high B. Okay, so D, F, B, and then we're going to do a 4-note scale down from that B. We're going to go B, A, G, F. Okay, so just straight down. And then G, F, F. Okay, so if you go from that pickup in bar 55, we've got 1, 2, 3, 1. 2, high B, then scale down. Then G, F, F. Okay, let's do that again. 1 and 2. Excellent. Then the next bit is going to go. So this is very similar to your first part of that tune. So 4-note scale down from E. So E, D, C, B. Then 3-note scale up from D and to C. Okay, so do that again. That's it. Good. Okay, so let's go from the pickup to bar 56 to there. 1 and 2. Yeah, good. Same again. 1 and 2. Good. And then the next bit starts off exactly the same way. So down the scale. So everything to there is the same, but then instead of going back up from D, our ending is going to go. We're going to go C, E, A, B, B. Okay, so let's just do that final line from pick up into bar 68. So 1, 2. Okay, so that's our whole melody. So let's try everything from the pickup to bar 55. Sorry, pickup to bar 56. 1 and 2. Different ending. Okay, so that's your entire melody for the South Wind. So then what our left hand is doing for that same bit, again, we're all in this same shape, this 1, 5, 8, 10, 12 shape, okay? We start on a G chord. Just ready, and G, da, ba, da. Then to a D chord. Da, ba, da, da. To E chord. Da, ba, da, da. And to F chord. Good. Okay, so let's try all of those. So G, D, E, F. Ready? And G, ba, ba, da, D, then E, and then F. Good. Then we've got G, but it's just the first three notes of it. So just the G, D, G, G, then E, B, E, da, ba, da, B, F, B, F, C, F. So that bit's all moving quite fast. So it's G to E and then B and then F. And if you find that hard, just miss out a note. Just go G and E and then B. Just give yourself more time. That's absolutely fine to do. And final line is B, F, B, ba, ba, da, then A, F, A. So maybe circle this one because this one's a bit different from all the rest. Da, ba, da, and then G, da, and E. Okay, so that last line. Da, ba, da, da, ba, da, da, Good. So let's do all of that left hand from 56. So 1 and 2. So let's try that slowly, and if you want to try hands together, you can. If you want to stick to one hand, no problem. So 1 and 2. And then what you would do is you would go back and you would play all of the South Wind again from 47. That DS, that means dal segno, and that means back to the sign. And the sign is little, that's see that little squiggly thing at the top of the page. That's what it means. So go back to there, and you play all of that page again, and then we would go to our ending, which is the same as our intro again. Okay, and then we've just got our very end. So I am aware that we are at 6 o'clock. So why don't let's play all the way through this piece, just so you kind of get a lay of the land, and I can video it. I'll make an audio recording of it at the same time, and then we'll have time for any questions that you want to ask about any of it, okay? So let's try it all the way from the top in the full way that it's written out. Sorry, let me just get my page turner pedal handy. Okay, so from the very top. 1, 2, and... So that is the whole thing. It is really long. It's actually like it's just over 5 minutes in total as a big arrangement. But that's why I'm saying it's absolutely fine if you want to cut it down. Just play the first part, just play the second part, whichever part is the bit that kind of takes your fancy. It's absolutely fine. You don't need to have the introduction. You can just leave that off and not have the introduction and interlude. Just play the melody. Kind of shape it to whatever you want. You know, it's your arrangement now, so you can do with it as you wish. So I know that's a lot of music to take in 3 hours. Essentially, we've done three tunes, really, not even just two. So huge amount. So your brains are probably absolutely fried. Does anyone have any specific questions that they would like to ask at this point in time? All good. If you do, or if you, as I say, if you suddenly think of something, just email me. I'll get this all uploaded and I'll send you out an email with the link to the video, the recordings, and then also just things like the lyrics for the tunes and links to the versions of other people playing the tunes and things like that. Because I think the more these are part of my kind of aim with these Celtic Christmas workshops was to introduce you to tunes and songs that are Christmassy but aren't like, you know, the usual classics that we hear all the time. But also I know that therefore it's a lot harder when you're learning tunes that you don't necessarily already have in your head as a melody to be able to sing. So I'll send you those recordings, and I think the more you listen to them, the more hopefully they'll start to come familiar. But I hope they will become nice stalwarts in your kind of Christmas repertoire over time. So thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of your evening, and we'll see you again soon. And I'll get this all out to you ASAP. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.